Hello, guys. Hello, this is High Priestess Jamila. I am back. A lot of y'all probably are in the bed, but a lot of y'all probably ain't. It's only 12 o'clock. So I thought I would come and talk a little bit about this negative karma that people seem to be trying to conveniently pass back and forth. I want to talk about when it's time to let go of certain things. Um, Venerating not only your ancestors, but other ancestors, which could be ancestral spirits, giving passes on karma, and how sometimes it doesn't necessarily mean that that is the end of what's going on. If you have disrespected a person and their ancestors are attacking you, then you're going to have to appease those spirits. So I want to talk about that a little bit, which is some real spiritual stuff, very important stuff. So hit that thumbs up. I know there's a lot of people that don't want to hear the truth. They don't like the truth because, they get stuck sometimes in a loop. And nobody wants to get stuck on the loop or either the hamster wheel. That's what I call it, as a hamster wheel, because you ain't going forward, you ain't going nowhere. You're just staying in that one place, and that's not exactly what your spirit would like you to do, but there's a lot of things that can fuck you up along the way. So anyway, when it's time to let go, especially if it's something that has no base or foundation, things created that were false, things that were may have been created that were not real for some reason or the other, beefs, and having all these intricate details of these beefs, how the devil is in the details, and how it's and I'm giving a warning to everybody about this. This came from spirit, how spirit feels that it is time for people to let that go so that you can move on to the next phase, okay, of either your life, your path, whatever it is, or either getting back to living your life, or either improving your life, whatever it is that you feel that you need to do, only you know that. Okay. And then as far as with beefs are concerned, and it depends on where you're at in line when it comes to your spiritual stuff. But I know that this year is going to be a year, and it's the number this year itself reduces to the number 5. So it's really time to let go of your outer conflicts with people are a manifestation of your inner conflicts within yourself. Okay. And whether or not you've created those conflicts with other people, I know that there's a lot of people that want to know what their enemy's karma is going to be. Oh, what are they going to do? They could have done this to me. They could have done that to me. They could have done this, but coulda, woulda, shoulda. They didn't do nothing. If they did manage to do something, you have no one else to blame but yourself. Okay? Because you determine your outcome in every situation. If somebody was able to drag you down or fuck you up or mess you up, that's something you're going to deal with within yourself. It's time to let go of the beef, the anger, the hatred. Let that stuff go. It's time to do that, especially when it comes to me. Now, here's where I'm at, because I noticed that there's people that, I guess they've been gaining off of their beefs with me. I'm not involved with that. Okay. I don't want you to get karma, nothing. I don't want you to die. I don't want your mama to die. I completely clear myself of that. And this is very, very important. I don't care how old you are, because just because you're in your 20s don't mean that you was just meant to fuck up. Just because you're in your 30s doesn't mean that God wanted you to start the process of destroying yourself, becoming more bitter. And especially if you're in your 40s and 50s, you really on red alert. Okay. That you need to get over that stuff. Oh, I'm mad at this person because, hey, more love. Hello. How are you, sweetie? I'm mad. I'm mad. I'm angry. We're not doing that. I'm going to tell you, I have had an epiphany, and it is what it is. So there's a lot of people, oh, I'm beefing with you. I don't even know you. What? So I'm not over here lighting candles for you to, have something horrible happen to you. I completely clear myself of all of that. Now, if you're trying to throw something at me that could be harmful, that's all fair in war and magic. I don't have to take your crap. So that's where a lot of people should be. But as far as people, oh, somebody gonna have karma, they gonna get put out of their house, or they gonna do that, they gonna do that. I don't want none of my enemies to be put out of their house. You know why? Because they may come roaming over to my house. So you got to be smart about this situation. My enemies know where I live, and I ain't scared of you or mad at you. Now, if you still got a foul intent, don't get mad at me for what my spirits might be still watching you. But other than that, with me, I've been reading and watching a whole library of movies, and just and spending time with my family, working on my garden. Thank you. Oh, thank you, more love. Yeah, that child, po child. I was saying that somebody said it was a joke. It's just a joke, but yeah, that baby do look like her mama. She do. She got her dad's nose though. She got that man's nose, and I think that was really the only thing he was concerned about, because her dad used to say I had a hook nose. He said, "You got one of them hook noses." And so yeah, they dad was funny. But anyway, uh I ain't trying to be in no spiritual war with nobody. That ain't what my spirits wanted for me anyway. I was fighting other people's battles and stuff. And so I don't have that issue. And so as far as with, people watching readings and everybody know I'm a Cancer, and it's like, oh, something fucked up gonna happen to you. Those are not my wishes, because I know about the law of attraction. Now, for me, there was a lot of people that made my situation appear to be worse than what it actually was. They didn't really do nothing. I wasn't evicted from my house. I wasn't put out. I actually put myself out. I moved out myself, moved my stuff into storage, and then I was on like a 4 or 5 month vacation, in my opinion. And loved every moment of it. Okay, until I got into my little witchy house, and there's my story. I ain't trying to get back at nobody for a damn thing. I just know that I don't have to take your demons. Not any of them. So all these strange people on YouTube that you don't know, that stuff is weird. And see, here what I want to tell you though, if you don't attack somebody, you gotta appease their ancestral spirit. You done attack somebody, you done insulted somebody, you better put out some offerings. I know what I'm talking about. Because these spirits, they will, and I told my spirits, don't hurt them. I don't want nobody to be hurt. That makes me feel bad. I don't like that. So spirit works in mysterious ways, and it just, right now, what we working on is we working on healing and clearing. Nobody wants to go through a 7th year of war. Not good for the soul. Y'all need to go get y'all some black-eyed peas, and fry you up some pork chops and some fried chicken, and y'all better go watch that movie Soul Food to tap back into yourself, because some of y'all done got detached from yourself because you're not doing yourself no good. So all my enemies, the people that think they my enemies, especially on, because you're not my enemy. My real enemies have no power to contact me in this plane of existence. The real enemy ain't doing shit or will be able to do anything. Okay, but a lot of these people that cause this chaos and stress, you better get it together. And so a lot of y'all, that's where we at with the enemies. We're gonna bind them. so they can't do no harm. But it's everything is karma free the whole summer. That way we can all celebrate at Lanasa. We ain't doing that no more. We've been getting tricked into doing that shit. I will not be doing that. Now, if you send me some bad energy, I'm going to have to send it back. However, for me to sit here on a daily basis, I can't believe it that there's actually people on YouTube, they sit and think about you every day and attack you. That makes no sense. You better use some of that energy for your family, baby, and getting yourself together. Because over here, for me, I'm enjoying life. I am healing folks. I am creating things. I'm going to be getting back into candle making very, very soon, to where I'll be making them handmade candles for y'all. And those things are very powerful. I love handmade candles. You can mix your little herbs and tinctures in there with it. You know what I'm saying? You can mix oils and stuff in the candles, you know. So, that's what I'm getting into, in hyper speed, almost to the point where those people were not even there. So you're going to be put on ignore, but spirit is still going to be watching you. And they have to, because you don't want to hurt yourself. I done seen people on here trying to attack people, heart chakra, throat chakra, trying to make people's lungs collapse and shit like that. Look, I ain't trying to say that I even want that to come back on you, because you don't know what you're doing. When I go into a healing with a client, I take on and I sense, not feel. I sense everything that they're going through. Same thing if you throwing black magic out there. You just gonna make yourself sicker and sicker. Stop doing it. A lot of these people out here throwing black magic at people, doing all that stuff, and you have no idea what you're doing. And a lot of people just look at me like I'm just silly. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's cool, but you're gonna realize that I was right about everything that I'm saying. So a lot of y'all that's in my circle, we know that our ancestors is crawling through the mud. They're flying through the air, and they may even be knocking some heads off. But we ain't got to see it no more. Let us rejoice. Just because you a witch don't mean that every damn day you got to be in the stitches. And no, that ain't what our ancestors wanted for us. And that's not what our children need either. They can't learn from us in that kind of environment anyway. They can't. So our witchy children, they're going to be coming into their powers. And the more and more we clean it up, the more and more our children are going to pay attention to us. They're going to gravitate more so towards us without that negative energy on us. And then that way they'll learn about the herbs, and they'll learn how to, if a bad spirit comes in, they just learn how to get rid of it. You know what I'm saying? Because I got to sage my house, and I get certain signs when I sage my house. You got spirits that'll send people that will send these spirits over to watch you, or to kind of hover over you or whatever, and, to do certain things. And, for a spirit to even do that, that spirit probably is hungry and needs to be fed. So that's why I'll leave out food for them. Okay, so everything that we do, we're doing the right thing. We are making the offerings. We are venerating the ancestors. A lot of people that they be thinking, I'm going to send something to you. Well, you sending a friend to me anyway, because I'm just going to see it, recognize it, make an offering to it, and see it about its way so that it can cross over. A lot of times y'all sending these spirits that need to cross over, because they hold on to their physical plane of existence here when they need to go ahead and reincarnate and go on and move through that cycle that we ain't gonna never find out until we die. But that we forget about. Ultimately, we forget about, well, some people forget. I didn't forget about what my soul went through. because I'm connected to 2 of my most previous past lives. Yes, you do need to do more paranormal, not just spiritual research, but paranormal research on your past life. A lot of y'all got these spirits from your previous life following you around. So there's way too much very intricate details about what is happening to you spiritually for us to be dealing with that bullshit. Who's better than somebody? Who got bigger titties? Who got wider hips? And who, who got the best coochie? And I don't nobody care about that. Don't nobody care about that. I don't care about that. That's stupid. Okay. Because see, if and see a lot of people that are throwing black magic everywhere, that's just their passive aggressive way of complaining. You ever ask somebody how they doing? Oh, I can't complain. I can't complain at all. And your spirits, they waiting to bless you. They are waiting to bless you. But they can't bless you when you got all them blockages. They can't bliss you, if you want to call it. They gonna bliss you. All that violation and judgment, it's time to let that go. Let it go. It is like a holy death. It's very scary. And so a lot of people are going to get kicked into it this new moon. A lot of these people that ain't ready for this celestial jump, because it happens whether or not you like it or not. I think the moon is going to pass somewhere between, they explain how that happened. And I guess we're going to be able to watch it too. Because it's happening. I think it's happening right now somewhere in the world. It's happening somewhere right now. I can feel a huge energy shift happening. I trust Mother Earth, I trust the sun, and I trust the moon. The sun is the father, the moon is the mother. So I trust them. Okay. And here's the thing about it. When that shade goes over that sun, it's going to balance a lot of stuff out. It depends on what you think of it. Like the moon passing over the sun, that's going to be very powerful. So, and we will be doing, especially for you indigo crystal revolutionaries who believe in the power of crystals, we're going to have a lot of crystals and, other stuff. So we got that coming up on the new moon. So make sure you're in my group or circle, because a lot of people, when they don't do it, they kind of regret it a little bit when they don't do it. So, a lot of people on here are demonically possessed, just under full fucking possession. They ain't got no help. And I'm not talking about possession of higher beings, because, anybody that's into witchcraft or knows about spiritual, being a spiritualist, we often can become possessed by deities. That's a good thing to have Hecate possess you or to have Lilith possess you. I know people have a negative opinion of Lilith, but hey, that's on y'all if y'all want to be demonized. If you want to demonize Lilith, I would never demonize Lilith. That was a lie. Okay, that's something else. That ain't Lilith. Lilith is a mother. She would never, ever, ever treat her children that way. Never. Okay, she was the according to the Bible, the first original woman. But we know that life preceded the Bible, in my opinion. Okay, that's a very humble opinion. Okay, so hello, Hearth, Heart, and Homestead. Hello. So, it's time for people to quit playing around. There's a lot of people out there, they fucking around. You just demonically possessed, sweetie. And you need to get that cleared off of you, because that's all you're doing is running around in circles on a damn rat wheel. Okay? And a lot of us spiritually will be by spirits. Oh, Lilith is absolutely amazing. She is absolutely amazing, and she gets demonized and blamed for every damn thing. So a lot of people will say that Lilith is the mother to vampires and demons and wolves and stuff like that. But who's to say that even those beings are necessarily evil? How do you know that she didn't take them as like orphans? She just has power and control over those beings. So then why would you spit in her womb? Somebody that has that kind of power. And if you're going to get into this, you got to really get into it. And I've seen people practice witchcraft while saying, oh, witchcraft is bad. Well, there's bad forms of witchcraft, but again, if you're going to practice witchcraft, have seances, that's witchcraft. You can't practice witchcraft while thinking bad about it. You have to have trust in what you're doing. Otherwise, you just might as well stick to being a Christian or a Catholic completely and put all your trust and faith in Jesus, which is nothing wrong with that. But, a lot of people go further than that. Okay. Hey, Thea. As far as, people that, I want to have a war. No, I'm laying down now with my swords in my hand. No, I'm not having a war with you. Go have a war with yourself. I ain't got nothing to do with that. Because some people, they just going to be at war forever. Some of these people that y'all see out here doing the crap that they do, they just might be doing that for the rest of their lives, which is sad. Which is sad as hell. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. So, right now that's where we're at. We got people out there, they tried to identify people that were children of the devil. Wrong answer. I've had people try to demonize me. You don't know me at all from Adam. Okay. So, stuff like that, when people run around here and they're not open-minded. They're not, whenever they say, oh, that's the child of the devil and all this. Oh God, please stop. If you're going to say that, you might as well say that we all child of children of the devil. Okay. Hey, Mavish. Yeah, people demonizing people and stuff. And it's like, are you kidding me? Like, all I need is the fact that my spirits are rejoicing from heaven. That's all I need. I don't need nothing else. I don't need confirmation or validation from nobody else. Okay? You know. So, that's where we're at. I don't care about, this and that. Look, right now at this point, because I don't want to see none of your babies hurt. I don't want to see you out on the streets. I don't want to see you starving. I don't want to see nobody like that. It's not in my heart, and that's called healing. A lot of these people, they'll come by and they'll troll you and they'll say, well, what about this, and that? I'm not going to do that. No, not anymore. I don't give a damn if I got to go out there and build a goddamn treehouse that I can go climb up to whenever I need to. I'm not going to do it. It's not fun. There's nothing fun about that. You just tearing yourself, and that's not what God wants you to do. And God, for God's sake, God does not want you out there judging people. And oh, them crystals are evil, and that's the devil, and those people don't know I'm sorry, you don't know what you're talking about. Respectfully, I say that respectfully to people that speak that way. Okay, because I done did some hot crystal work or some some hot amethyst work that will blow your mind. Okay, and you ain't gotta have no drugs. Although if you want to smoke a little bit of weed, you can. But when you put them crystals up against the skin, and when you charge them a certain way, and when you put the medicine on the crystals, so those crystals is what's going to save us from that artificial intelligence and all that bullshit that they doing, and all these demons that's in machines and computers and that's that these bots and stuff, people who are literally like transformers. I'm not talking about the trans community. I'm talking about people that all of a sudden that because we're the internet is air communication, very powerful. Okay, and you're gonna either use it for good and for the greater good and for your good or not. So no, I don't. I wish my enemies well. I wish that they would heal, because that's all that's wrong with all of my so-called enemies, quote unquote enemies. They just need to heal. So I'm not doing that no more. It's too time consuming and it's energy consuming, and that's what I'm not gonna do. Hmm. Crystals were very important, and other natural forming rocks on this planet were very important for our ascension and healing on this planet. Okay. Yeah, well, you're funny, more love. And you know what? I want to get away from stuff like that. You know, but it's always, I try to have a lesson in there. But no, I don't want my enemies to die. I ain't trying to kill you. Yep, that's how you get ET spirit attachments. You're right. And they do live in the computers sometime. But God created all of that. He could destroy it at any moment. So, I'm not everything that man made, God made it too. So, I'll never fear anything above God and his ability to end all of this shit. Yeah, we know he can, but he don't. Because what fun would it be? My God wants to see us all happily playing on this planet and laughing and being joyous. That's what God wants. I know that for a fact. You can say it's something else, but I'm not gonna believe it. I'm gonna believe what I believe in. So, I see those miracles every single day when I wake up in the morning, and I just, the birds is chirping and singing, and they talking, they singing a song to us. They traveling up in the air. You don't know what kind of energy they bringing back down here. I think it's good though. So, that is the miracle of life that we should be focused on. But a lot of people, they wrapped up in, somebody's traveling into my astral space, and I understand. I get it. I totally get it. I want to sage my house today, but I've got to make some offerings to some spirits before they go. So, sometimes it could be an ancestor that's saying, "Hey, you know, give me thank you, sweetie. Give me." And some of your ancestors will possess you. They will, and they eat through you. You know this, and so a lot of different stuff happens with that. And but as far as my enemies having to, and you ain't even my enemy. I don't believe. It's like, first of all, I didn't really create these so-called enemies anyway. They were artificially created anyway. So I don't have time for it. Life is too short for that. Oh no. You hate your ancestors? Oh God. You make them an offering and you send them on their way. You venerate the ancestors. There's nothing wrong with that. And then sometimes you got to venerate other people's ancestors. Okay, so that's why I was saying, the reason why all spiritualists have said that, I first heard that 10 years ago. Don't get mad at me about what that's been, witches and spiritualists have been saying that for the past 20, 30 years. I think I heard that like 30 years ago. But It's because it's because you've done nothing to venerate that ancestor or to make good on the actions that you have taken. It's you can't really blame the person. Mm. Well, maybe you can talk to somebody about that. I thought about coming back on here doing readings at the witching hour. I don't want to do that. I am like I've been up all day doing stuff and I've been busy all day. That's why I hadn't been here. Um so well, even if they're narcissists, make your offerings to them, okay? Make your offerings, make your deals with them. Say, hey, you do this for me and I'll do this for you. You got to talk to these spirits and see a lot of people can't do that. You can't really hear them because you're so full of the malarkey. You know what I'm saying? Especially those of you, especially those of you that, are afraid of spirits. But they're here. And a lot of y'all that have never seen this before, y'all are either seeing or sensing these spirits. And no, it's not because you crazy. Okay? You're not crazy. People have been talking about the spirit realm for since the beginning of time. Okay? Yeah, make right with them. You know, you venerate them, you make them offerings. Sometimes it does have to be a blood animal sacrifice. And see, we got a lot of people that ain't down with that. Okay? But see, that we let them go and they play in their little playgrounds and stuff, and then we do what we got to do. Okay? I'm trying to learn more about spirituality. Was Sunni Muslim for years. Sunni, is that Sunni or Sunni Muslim for years, but now I'm seeing known religion is controlled. I see flashes of silver lights out the sides of my eyes all the time. Interesting. Okay. So Alancita, I think that's how you pronounce it. Um, there's nothing wrong with you being Muslim, and your Muslim ancestors are always going to possibly be there. But again, if it's a particularly bad ancestor that is doing a lot of harm, it's not necessarily the right thing to do to be disrespectful to them. Okay. So just get at me about that because I that's basically who I talk to is your ancestors. And some of them are kind of bad. Some of them are, very controlling or, a lot of them are trying to be reborn through you, which a lot of people don't want that to happen, but that's up to God to do that ultimately. But, you know, oh, I've got many, many videos on making offering to ancestors. We do it every Sabbath and then every Espit is when we do that. It can either be fire, it can be water, it can be food. Yeah. But I don't think I've ever really talked about this before because this is a new chapter that's happening right now. So as far as with, going back and forth with people and oh God, like I'd rather use the air that's in my lungs to do something else, all that going back and forth and fighting and arguing and people, no, I'm not available for that anymore. And they'll try to cast spells. They'll try to put stuff out there and, because they want you to acknowledge them or something. And those people, and if you send an ancestor over here, I'm going to know exactly what to do with that ancestor. I don't have to be disrespectful. But a lot of it does seem to be coming in through nature. I got some rainwater outside. I need to go grab in a few minutes, y'all. because it rained pretty good over here earlier, and I did manage to collect some rainwater. But I'm gonna be able to collect rainwater all week because it's gonna rain all week over here in Georgia. Okay, so yeah. Well, get the personal advice from a medium because you just never know. Everybody's situation is unique. Okay, so everybody's situation is unique, and but it can be very similar because our world has been through several controlled things to where everybody usually should be on the same page, but right now people are having a really really hard time with celebrating and taking in the joy and the happiness of life. People are just totally focused on the negative all the time. Yeah, and they'll be sitting up here casting stuff out to you, and you just have to trust in your protection and the things that you've done. So, you know, um I'm not saying sit back and let somebody attack you, but if it's meant for you to be, maybe, having yourself a little fun, you've got to balance that. You can't just always 24/7, be wrapped up and I think that after a few years, you've been after the fifth year, you was supposed to work that out. Something ain't right. Something is extending the lifespan of this negativity that just needs to be squashed, whatever it is. I don't care. Doesn't matter. So people get mad at you when you treat them like they don't matter. Or people will get mad at you if you like, well, that shit don't even matter to me no more. Just move on. Let them know, just move on. Time to move on. And if you don't move on, then my spirits probably would keep an eye on you if you're not truly moving on and moving past something. Because y'all waste way too much time and energy trying to fight people that ain't even thinking about you. Because you want to make some kind of human connection, even if it's negative. And that ain't what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be connecting to your spirit guides. They're supposed to be guiding you. When you're not able to do that, there's a problem. Okay, because I never forget in 2019 on Halloween, my goodness, oh, I was loving it. So many of my ancestors came through, and like I could just feel them. It was very powerful. And they were very, very present last Halloween. It's something about Halloween. Um, it's the Day of the Dead. So and you got to know how to protect yourself from these negative spirits, but sometimes negative spirits are coming through because, again, they may be hungry and they just want you to lay them out some candy or some kind of libation, and they'll feed and they'll go on. A lot of y'all, the reason why you might be getting fed on is because you're not making those offerings. Believe it or not, it's food, flowers, candles. You give your ancestors a lot of power and energy to use that they can use when you burn fires. That's the point of what we do. Now, Wild Style Vlogs, I'll need to do a reading on your ancestor. They probably do want blood. What's stopping you from giving that to them? You can go and buy a thing of liver and put it on a plate and offer it to them. What's so difficult about that? It's probably something that's stopping you. You got to connect with those ancestors. And Kali Ma really likes chocolate. Okay, she really likes chocolate. And Kali Ma, She's running things. Basically, Kali Ma's running shit. She running shit. Just to let y'all know. Um, she's very, very, very powerful and present all the time. Now, when you think about it, a lot of people would compare Kali Ma to Lilith, to Hecate, but this is Durga. They work together. They don't work against each other. They work together. Yes, they do. They don't compete. These different goddesses and deities, they not competing. They will always be relevant and powerful. So why would they need to compete? So a lot of y'all goddesses out there, y'all supposed to be under these goddesses, but y'all competing against each other. Like, that don't make no sense. And then we be talking about the triple goddess, and a lot of y'all think you got to do that to get some reverence from men, and they learn from us. You supposed to be better than that. Oh, I love Rain too. Yeah, give them some raw chicken liver. They'll take that. Now, you don't want to feed a demon because that mug might get stronger. If you feeding a demon, the demon might get stronger and turn against you. But it depends. There are some people that have demonic ancestors. It better for them to work for you than against you. Okay. So that's another thing about it. But see, they want us focused on that. That, like, I sat here and had a 3-hour conversation with Lord Ganesha and Saint Expedite. You don't go and have a 2-3 hour conversation about nothing when you could be using that energy. They want you to talk to them. They don't want you to just call their name. They want you to talk to them and actually connect. You can then you a lot of people be assuming that these deities know what the hell somebody done did. You got to sit down and talk to them about that. It's almost like being in court. You got to get your position, talk about the opposition and what you want, and they will deliver it. A lot of people are practicing witchcraft like they can just, oh, I got 5 minutes to do that. No, this stuff takes hours to do. When I do y'all rituals, I'm spending 60 up to 60 man hours sometimes on y'all work. Because it ain't just lighting a candle. It's about, your connection with that spirit and what it's doing and why it's doing it. Many of y'all want freedom, which is understandable. You got to know how to talk to them. And a lot of people don't spend 2-3 hours talking to no deity during no ritual. Okay, now when you think about a regular 8-hour workday, this is part of what I do. So that's what I'm saying. And the best results that I have seen, even when you're dealing with a demon, the demon wants to sit there and spend time with you. Some people do a lot of work with demonic entities. You know what I'm saying? I know I've worked with Clonic before. And he may be an ancestor. You never know. It may be ancestors that was connected. Am I going to sit up here and ignorantly go, oh, this is and hysterical? That's where you can't be hysterical about this, okay? Again, there's a lot of people that demonize Lilith. They call her a demon, but I call her a deity. There's some people that demonize Papa Legba. I don't. I've seen Papa's work, but he wants to even sit there and have a conversation with you. Not, I want you to do this and do that. And for now, you're just giving them orders, and they like, well, I don't work for you. I can do you some favors, but why should I? So, yeah, I got to read that, read that as far as, what you're giving to these deities, and they are very, very impressed when you go through a lot of changes setting up your altars. They're very impressed with stuff like that. They like that kind of stuff. Okay, when you set up your altars and and you'll attract a lot of fairy spirits when you got crystals and crystal balls. That's when you'll attract the fae, and I like the fae. Okay, they can only be bad if the fairies they like to teach people a lesson, but it's usually a good lesson. I trust the fae, so you know. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna wrap this up because my spirit is hungry. I'm about to eat something. About to have me a little midnight snack. Okay. Yeah, the fairies are amazing. I got everybody in the circle. I feel like I'm gonna go ahead and get that set up in advance. We're gonna be covered in advance as far as with our protection for the Litha group. And so yeah. So a lot of this stuff that you're seeing out here, you know, with certain things and actions that people be taking and they be running around here. Well, if you were really if you really believed in those deities, you wouldn't have to fight all the damn time. That ain't what they want us to do. Just fighting about nothing. I'm not gonna fight over $5. I'm not gonna do I'm not gonna do it. Yeah. So we gonna get ourselves. I got everybody written down. And like I said, I collected some rainwater. And we're gonna be collecting rainwater all week. And we'll be using some of that for our protection ritual too. Okay. But so that's just what that is. Okay. You're very welcome. And I will see everybody later. And just to let y'all know, if anybody ever contacts you telling you a foul lie about me, don't believe it. Okay, you can't believe everything you hear. Okay, so be careful with that because I got a lot of people out there that's hating. And, I've warned people about trying to interfere with people's spiritual birthright and what they were meant to do in this life. You don't have the power to do that, not even if you, the mama or the grandma. Okay. Now, if you know that it's meant for your child to die or something, but obviously what I'm doing ain't gonna kill me. I live a very charmed life, and I love the life that I live, and I want y'all to love the life that you live. So I want to share that, in my way, in my own way. But yeah, Maeve, yes. Maeve is the fairy goddess. I'll come talk to y'all about Maeve too. We'll talk about her. I haven't really had a lot of time for the Espits like I have wanted to, because you got so many people pulling teeth. They literally, and YouTube has become so toxic because of confused people playing around with Ouija boards and spirits. You are not supposed to play around with a Ouija board unless you are an experienced practitioner. Okay. And, you shouldn't be playing around with crystal balls either, unless you know what the hell you're doing. Okay. So, and you can pick up stuff from us on here, but I think that some of the people y'all be listening to be full of shit. Just saying. They can't preach to you about the behavior of others when they're attacking people's family and children. That's bullshit. Get it together. You shouldn't be randomly attacking nobody, nowhere, ever, ever. Okay? Stop it. You wasting time, you wasting energy. And, these people ain't going to get no response out of me no more. And this is not a response. This is more so of a cord cutting. I completely cut the cord to all of that negativity. I know that I can be funny sometimes and tell jokes, and my jokes are funny as hell. But if those jokes are at someone else's expense, I don't really feel good about doing that. And I don't want that. I don't want any of my, because you just never know what that person could be going through. Okay. And so, and then what, so it's time to, as far as with karma, I don't want to sit around and wait for what the fuck somebody karma gonna be, because it'll never come. So don't even worry about that. Worry about you. Worry about what you are doing, and know what to do. Now, I might do some dark goddess readings for the channel, and kind of hold off on the last two twin flame readings. For some reason, spirits is holding out on those. And so, but y'all might need some dark goddess readings, because you'd be surprised at how these goddesses can really, really, really help you. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they everywhere. You're welcome. You're welcome, you guys. Love and light to all of y'all. Happy healing. I can feel the healing happening right now. I can feel it. So I gotta go. I gotta go, because I'm about to eat and watch me some movies and stuff. So I'm shutting it off for the night. Okay. All right, y'all. See y'all later. Peace and love. Bye bye.